back to Minecraft Through the Ages. This is episode 3 of the Minecraft Let's Play series, where I go through all the Minecraft versions, starting from the earliest all the way up to the current release. We are currently on version 0.0.14a_08. And as you can see, last episode we built this house. I built the Steve pen last minute. It's a pretty simple design, not much to it. But this episode, we're going to be going over the multiplayer tests and the changes in those versions. Now, I did forget to mention something last episode, and that is that this version was the version that showed off C418, the Minecraft original sound and music developer, his first mock-up of the Minecraft sounds and music. And he posted it on YouTube, and you can find re-uploads of it now, and I will play a video of that now. Now, before we upgrade to 0.015a, there is something I need to mention, and that's that there is a change to the world generation, but it's such a minor change that we're just going to check it out and then come back to this world and then stay on this world throughout all the multiplayer versions and check out all the new features in this world. And then once we get to survival test, which will be the next episode, we will create a new world. But we're gonna stick to this world. I just need to show off the new terrain that they added, but it's so minor that we don't even need to start a new world. I just at least want to show it off. Welcome to version 0.0.15a. Now, the only really major changes was that multiplayer was added and the trees were changed to look like the modern day Minecraft trees, where it has this extra part, because in the previous version, what the trees look like, they just didn't have this. And that's what they look like in the previous version, but now they look like this, and I think they're slightly more varied. The other changes were there were some texture changes, and I think chat was added. No, it was in one of the minor versions. And that is another thing I want to mention, is that these versions, their changes were so tiny and they're such tweaked versions because of multiplayer. Most of it was bug fixes and adding chat, adding commands, adding multiplayer features like usernames and chat features, commands, stuff like that. And so we're not going to be going over most of these, just mostly because I'm not setting up a multiplayer server because it takes way too much time to do and it's not really worth it just for these very few versions. So we're not going to be playing with somebody else and testing out the multiplayer or covering a lot of the multiplayer changes because they're not really that significant. They're just like added commands, added usernames in like the future versions. So we're going to be skipping over a lot of them and just focusing on the actual features that get added that's not multiplayer related, like sounds and new items and blocks and stuff. So I think we should go back to our original world and upgrade to the next version. As you can see, the texture changes are really prominent now because now we can actually see the leaves and the cobblestone and the plank textures all the texture changes are way more prominent now. It shows it off way better than me just looking around the world. The trees are still the early trees, but you know, maybe we can build. My dog is growling. Kai. I don't know why he's growling. He's probably mad at me. He's trying to sleep. 2, 3, 4. But I'm gonna build. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna build the tree on some stone to make it look like an actual build. And I'm gonna build a tree here to show off the new trees. There we have it. We have one of the new trees. Actually, I forgot to add. Sometimes they have these on the side, so I'll just add 2 of them. There we go. One of the new trees in this world with the old trees. Now, we're still on 0.0.15a, so I think it's time to upgrade to the next version, which is actually 0.19, 0.0.19. That's because, as I said earlier, the changes are so insignificant, we're going to be skipping a lot of versions. Now, I've had to rebuild the tree in between clips because it got my save got deleted because I don't know, I messed up, but it's all good now. I have the world. And as you can see, there's some big changes. We got the hotbar now, and actually real quickly before we do anything, I want to build some gravel going over out to here to extend this path. Now that I have the path, we can actually go over some of the changes. And those changes were, they added the hotbar, and they added sponges, as you can see, which do work. And they can suck up water. And I think they can also suck up lava in this version, but I haven't found any lava in this world, so it doesn't really matter. Are wet sponges a thing? Or is it just only work when you place it? Let's see. Get out of here, Steve. Oh, also, there is a glitch where they look like that for some reason. Okay, it's just not working. Oh, so it only... That's interesting. So once you break it, the water comes back. That's cool. I like that. But, of course, that's not practical, but, you know. But, yeah, the Steve textures are glitched. You can see through them. It's really weird. But besides that, I don't think there was any major changes. So I think it's time to upgrade again. Actually, wait. Glass. Hold on. Glass. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can put glass somewhere. I do want to do a build with the glass, but I want to update through some of the versions before we, do anything else. Where can I put glass? My glass doesn't really fit my house, does it? So while building this, I accidentally flooded this entire room because I accidentally punched a hole right here. And I forgot in these early versions that water just floods absolutely everything. But luckily, there's sponges in this version, and we can just use the sponges to get rid of this. If this would have happened in an earlier version, I'd have to break all this, and it would have been really annoying. But now I can just do this. It's pretty great. That's weird looking. Anyways, now I'm not gonna finish this build right now because in this version there is not all the items and blocks are in the hotbar, so I'm gonna have to finish this build in a future version once the block selection screen gets added, which I think is actually the next version. So I think we should probably just upgrade. Oh, the seas are swimming down there. Ah, it's kind of like an aquarium. But I think we should just upgrade to the next version so I can finish this build and have all the blocks. Like, for example, I don't have cobblestone or sand. I don't know if there's any more, but that's the ones that I noticed right away. We are now in version 0.0.20a underscore 01. And the biggest change in this version, you can probably see it coming because the last version added the hotbar. That's the inventory slash block selection screen. This later becomes the inventory once they start focusing on survival and stop focusing on creative mode. I mean, this isn't really creative mode. It's more like a weird hybrid of survival and creative. In between cuts, I did finish the build, but I did build this, which I think is pretty interesting. I wanted to build some coral out of these sponges because the sponges do look like coral a little bit. And I think it looks cool. And then the water is not near it. I think it just looks cool, so I built that. And then I built another room underneath here that relates to coral. And I also built a Steve fish tank. I think I showed this off, but I don't quite. But it wasn't finished before. Now it's finished. my Steve fish tank. And then in here is a room with sponges on the floor and sponges in the corner to create this weird water effect that you can jump up in the middle and just swim out right from the bottom of the room. And I think all this is just pretty cool and interesting builds to do with the sponges. Some other things that were added in this version were plants. And I'm going to show off the plants. I want to build a garden right here. And so I'm just going to dig this out to make it look like the stone is holding back these plants. And just have a little garden right here full of plants. Now, the plants that were added were mushrooms, the red and brown types, and dandelions and roses. These are the only plants that were added. These are the only plants in the game for a while. Not for a long time do other plants get added. But now we have a nice garden there. But these can be placed anywhere. That's a bad example, but they can be placed anywhere, even in water. Because they're fairly new and they don't have all the bugs and kinks worked out in these early versions. And the last thing they added was gold. Actually, was this added? No, it wasn't added in the previous version. I just thought because glass was added in the previous version. I'm just trying to think. But yeah, gold is in this, and I do want to build something with this gold, like a giant treasure room. But I'm trying to figure out where to build the treasure room. Let me think on this for a second. Okay, so I've just come up with a simple mine entrance, I guess. And there's a cliff over it. The grass is still spreading, but it's I didn't really try that hard. There's not even a back to this, but you know, it's fine. It doesn't need a back. Now on the inside of this, I just want this to be a corridor which just leads to a giant room full of gold, and that's pretty much it. I just want to have a room full of gold. Okay, so I finished the build. I don't think I'm going to be adding much to it. I think it's good on its own. It's good like this. Just a room full of gold with the light shining in. I think it looks pretty cool. Just have gold in the middle. Some gold right here. Might do it some good. Like it overspilling. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't think the build really needs much more. I wanted this to stick out more. Break that. Now it looks weird. Okay. And it's just a giant pile of gold. That's kind of hidden. Not really hidden. But yeah. But this build really brings us into our next part, which is the cloth blocks. As you can see, I'm holding a red one in my hands right now. Okay, in order to show off all the cloth blocks, in this version they're called cloth blocks, I built this structure, and I'm going to place a new cloth block in every single one of these placements with the gold blocks. And there is 16 in total, just like modern versions, except for some of the colors are different. Like in modern version, how there's brown and black. Some of the darker colors, those are not in those versions. They're more colorful. Did I build this wrong? Alright, now that I have this fixed, we're gonna go over all the colors. Now some of these I don't know the names of, so I'm just gonna guess and hope I get them right. So, we got, okay, we got red, orange, yellow cloth block, lime cloth block, green cloth block. I'm assuming that's cyan, maybe a light blue, and in between blue. I'm just gonna say an in-between blue because there's a blue right here. Let me pull out these ones. And we got actual blue, purple, I'm gonna say magenta. Not really sure what I'm looking at. Pink, gray, light gray, and white cloth. And that's all the colors. And in the future, I do plan on doing, not in the future, next episode, I plan on doing an episode just based around pixel art. Next episode, we're just gonna be doing pixel art. I'm probably gonna expand the pathway and build an area. Probably along here. I'm probably gonna flatten this area out and just build a bunch of pixel art here. And that's what we're doing next episode. So if you don't really like that, then I guess next episode is not for you. But this episode, we still got some versions to go over and stuff like that. But yeah, I got these cloth blocks, and it'll help in building. I used them in the gold build mine thingy. I don't know what to call this, but yeah, I use cloth in here. It just makes building a lot easier because of you know, a lot more colors. But I'm waiting for more blocks to be added because building in these versions is pretty annoying because there's not many options for building, and a lot of the time I just find myself staring at what blocks to use. This needs more gravel right here. Anyways, I think we've gone over everything in this version that we can go over, so I think it's time to upgrade to the next version. Welcome to version 0.0.22a_03, and now I'm not moving, and that's because there's a reason for that. This was pretty much the sound update. This version added sounds and music. Now, the added sounds were grass, gravel, stone, and wood. Oh, you hear that music kick in? That's the good stuff. That's what I like to hear. So these sounds were, this is the gravel sound, which is used for sand and gravel. There is the grass sound. This is it right now. And there is the stone sound. Which, I mean, they're pretty similar. It's kind of like just different variations of it. The blocking, I think it's just slightly different of that sound. And then, of course, wood, which I'll go into my house to test out. Oh my god, that is loud. Gotta lower that. And so if you go into here, walk on it, and it makes the wood noises. Same with breaking it. Now these sounds are used throughout all the blocks, just like, you know, stone will be used for this, sand will be used for sponge, stuff like that. Also, there is there's a background for the select a block menu now. Just this blue screen thingy, majiggy, and M will just mute all the noises. So if I want to, I can just mute it, but I probably won't be doing that because, you know, the sounds sound nice. And that's pretty much all this version added. I'm gonna walk around a little bit, just listen to the noises, see how it feels. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Now we have one last version to go over in Minecraft Early Classic, and that is 0.0.23a underscore 1. We are now in the final version of Early Classic. Now, what that means is that the next version we're gonna be going to, not next episode, because next episode is gonna be dedicated to just doing pixel art, but after that we're gonna be going into survival test. And survival test is Notch testing out the features and preparing the game for survival, which is what the game will be focusing on until about 1.8 once creative is added, but that's not for a long time. Beta 1.8, I meant, not 1.8. And so Minecraft is just gonna be focused on survival for a while, and this won't really be what Minecraft will be like anymore. It'll become a lot different of a game. This version of the game is really special to some people. I never played this when I was a kid, because when I played, there was survival, because I didn't play that early. I was like, what, like 4 years old when it was like that. So you know, I just never was into that because I didn't find out about it till later. Anyways, the only things that this version added is some minor things. Is a new menu, looks different. Of course, it still doesn't. I don't know if I said it still doesn't work because it still uses the Mojang website. There's now an options which has music, sounds, invert mouse. I don't know who would use that. Show FPS, render distance. You can still press F and do it, and you can change your controls. I'm changing build to E because that's just feels better to me, and it's pretty much. Does it even E? Wait, what was the thing I wanted to try? Chat? Oh, I can't do chat because this isn't on a server. But yeah, this is the final version of Early Classic, and this world is really cool. I like this world. We did a lot with this world, but we're gonna be moving on once we get to survival test. Maybe we'll come back to it in the later classic because there's still some more classic versions after survival test. Yeah, this is the final version of Early Classic at least. And those were all the changes. Not much else. I accidentally activated my auto clicker. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed this video. I just enjoyed building and doing all these weird things with all these new blocks and features in these versions. If you like the video, if you like it and want to see future episodes, next episode is going to be the pixel art episode, and maybe we'll get some building in there, build some more buildings and stuff in this world before we move on to survival tests. Okay, wait, so I don't know what version this was added in, but apparently there is a mob cap, and I can't spawn any more Steves. I spawned in all the rest of my Steves down there, so apparently there's a mob cap. I don't know when that was added. I must have just didn't notice it. But another thing I forgot to show was that I built a Steve hole over here. It's kind of hidden. I don't know if you saw it. You might have seen it. There's a bunch of Steves down here. I dug this hole myself. That's right.